Hello YouTube, welcome to Sunday in the Shop. I think I'm done belching, and I can tell you why. Too much breakfast and too much coffee. There. I don't want to go into what sandwich I had. I will maybe here in a second. Uh, this was really yellow. See how yellow that is? This thing's set. Okay, this was bought in 2006, right? So it was used till 2019, okay? Stuck in the shed since then. So that's what, 3 years. And I had it covered up, but old plastics, you know what they are. And this was actually made in 2003. I read the sticker. It says it's 8,000 BTU. I swear it's bigger than that because it would drop our power down. You'd see the lights dim in the living room. And we rented back then, so we didn't care for a while. But I got a video on this, and I will get it posted. I went back and did that a third time, okay? Because I thought I could use a little air compressor. I ended up going to my noisy old Sears Craftsman one. I have videos on it. It's as noisy as them flapper ones. But look how clean that is. There's your aluminum pipes. Now the back, what we're going to try to do today is straighten the fence. Then I got 2 video clips I'll put in making a screwdriver, etc. That's just not worth posting. Put them on Sunday so we can make a longer video. But I did hit this skip with some sandpaper. We use Goof Off, which removes the paint. And if you look how faded this paint is, I went over it with 1,200 grit sandpaper. So I was trying to scrub some of that glue off. Because I always use like clear packing tape. I would seal this to the window, right to the wood frame, with tape on here to weather seal it. And like these things are always going to. I got some foam like on the new one. It's 1/4 inch foam. It's double, and it's tucked in there in clear tape. Okay, so it's double insulated besides this from the outside. And then I have plastic vinyl on my window. We live in a shack. On the inside of the windows for the winter time, and I'll cut that and I'll just roll it up, like put it here. So from here up to the top of the window is actually plastic film on the inside of the window. So it's in a very well insulated window. And you got to remember, window AC conditioners, when you open your window up, I put my storm window down here, right? It leaves a hole here where the bugs and wasps can go up between the storm window and the house window and then drop down between. You got that gap when your bottom window's open. There's that gap back there. I used to put a rolled up newspaper, but then I designed a way to put cardboard right here. Well, you're never going to stop all the bugs. So the plastic on the inside of the window, they're not going to get in your house. They may make it between the windows. They're not making it. This is old. It's been washed many, many times. It's not that great of a filter. Okay. It says turbo boost, but if you really study it, look at it. Fan only, it's low, high, and turbo. It's just low, medium, and high. A selling point, right? Turbo. I had this running yesterday. I'm in my little enclosure where I work. So I had everything closed off and was just shooting the water that. Well, you can't keep doing that because you're going to have water on the floor back there. If I can get a big tin pan to catch the water, I can actually work out with this air conditioner stuck in my work area without putting a hole through the wall because I don't care about the rest of the shop being hot. But we've lost what we were talking about here. Oh, as far as run time, I wrote it down. This thing pumps out about 50-degree temperature, which is really cold. I was told by an air conditioner guy 45, or if it freezes your fingernails to where they hurt, that's cold enough. And that was cold enough for me. So we're saying like 50. So I'm not going to complain as old as it is. And we did get some frost on there when you first fired up, especially on low fan. So we was running like 2 minutes on, 2 minutes off. Well, to me, that's like 50% duty cycle. We're hooked to a cord. That's for my welder. It's 12 gauge wire. Don't use extension cords on air conditioners, people. If they do, you gotta almost have a 10 or something. It never did get hot. You could feel a little bit warm. But it would do the job. If I had to come out and work when it's really hot, like say for an hour or something. Otherwise, it's ridiculous to be out here trying to do that stuff. Get out here in the morning before it gets hot. Get your work done. Okay, we're going to take a break, spin this around, and we're going to show you how we're going to straighten those fins on it. Just using my little light. But ain't that clean? I mean, it's not brand new, but man, it was filthy. I will have the video posted. Today's Saturday I'm making this. You might have already seen the video of me wash it. It was filthy. Filthy dirty from sunny. It came out of the house, was not clean, was shoved right into the shed for all them years, and it would get uncovered and the front was exposed. And I just had a tarp with some cardboard on the top. So, I don't know what causes plastic to yellow. I said I sandpaper that 150, 200 grit, and I sanded this plastic down to make it look better. So, we act enough for the intro of this 6 minutes. Let's get busy and get these fins straightened on the back. And we don't have one of those combs. They make a comb that, if you look it up, is for straightening fins. We're going to use a dull knife. So, here we go. Okay, hopefully the scanner's done. We're just going to show you the basics of this and show you how bad it is. See how bad it is. And we are, there's the worst spot. See where it's all bashed over. It's been shoved against stuff. Basically what I'm doing is I'm taking the back of the knife, not the sharp edge. Remember them tubes going across the horizontal has the stuff in them. Okay, can you see where these are folded over? Basically I'm just taking the knife, going down where it's good, and you'll get cross-eyed doing this, trust me. You see me go up and do that? Good on the, see you can see what I mean. Here, let's do it. I'm gonna get off camera. You're just going to, said don't use the sharp edge like I do. You can if you're careful. You see that? I think you see what I mean. Because I don't have one of them combs. They make a comb. You gotta be aware of a comb. You just can't go over here and take the comb and do this. You're still going to have to straighten these before you ever put the comb in there. I watched a video about it one time. I know I did, or I know an air conditioner guy told me, don't just think you can take the comb and start dragging. Okay, gotta stop recording. Okay, don't need no copyright strikes running a scanner over the thing, but I don't monetize this one anyway. But there's the basics. We'll take a picture of this, so we'll have before and after. I am starving for lights. This thing is not that great. Trust me, it will not stick anywhere. It will not stick this way. No. You know where I bought it. That's the only way it'll stick. It will not stick up against the wall. Too cheap. Ain't that pathetic for magnets? Anyway, enough rant on the cheap tools. Let's get to work. I lied. I cleared the metal list off the magnets. It will stick, but don't trust it. It's cheap. Battery's probably dead, and the thing half dead anyways, why it's not very bright. Okay, we're going for it. That's where you'll see the pictures before and after. Okay, we can focus. Here's that bad spot. I like to go from the bottom up. Like I said, use the back of the knife. You may have to use the sharp point to get in there if they're really smashed together. You're not going to make them straight, but the whole idea is to get these separated so the air flows through. So, that's how, you remember how bad that was, right? I could do a little more fine tuning, but here we go. That's a really bad spot. That's the next one. We're going to take a break. We're going to tackle it. Okay, we've had about enough. If you get damage like this, just leave it alone. It's in there so deep. I mean, this was so bad right here. The whole idea is just get a space between it. Give one quick view again. That was that bad spot there. There's stuff across the top. And believe me, there was dirt in there when I got them out. So I could actually re-clean that a little bit with a spray bottle, but I ain't too worried. You figure there was probably 10% loss in here. If you figured up the square inches, how many square inches was mashed, well, we could have been losing like 10%. This, I have no idea if I'm going to tackle that. I probably will not. It's not worth it. I mean, the thing still works, but I'm just getting a really, really bad spots. Took a couple pictures and enjoyed a couple of videos I added this week of stuff I've done. One was a screwdriver, and I cannot tell you the other one. So, thanks for watching, and enjoy the few clips that come after this. Okay, here's a little something I'm working on. Wednesday, May whatever. It's the 8th of the Sunday, you figure it out. And it is going to hit about 80 with upper 60 dew point. I have it 80 in here, but I got a fan going, and I do not have the humidity out here in the shop. I got the door and everything shut, keeping the outside humidity away. This is all done with this tool I made. This all I use it for a lathe tool. The object was to have this in the center, not a groove, then a groove and a groove and a groove. And I just guessed. Just by God. That's just some gray model car paint. I use it for a primer. I skipped out a couple places here. You see a big old gouge I can't sand out or polish out. But I had to redo this. I'd take this apart, well, it fell apart, and drill a hole another 1/4 inch or more deeper, like a 3/16, smaller than this, is close to a 1/4, and really jam it in there, re-glue the brass part and all that apart. But you live and you learn, right? That ought to give you more grip. And I was just going through the center of a branch. I had it for a handle on something I wanted to make the hole bigger. I mean, it spun pretty good in the lathe. I was amazed it didn't shake all over. It did drop once on me when I first was setting up. See that slight hit of a round ring on the end? Yeah, you can kind of see it. I chose something kind of light. I didn't want white. I didn't want dark. So I figured, well, let's put it gray. I wanted to highlight so you can see what it is. More grip in the hand. Oh yeah, now you got more grip. It ain't so slippery. Okay, let's go on to something else. We'll take a pretty picture of that. Oh, one more clip. I want to show that micro point. You see how it's two angles, right? In case I made it right down there with the diamond point. It is a very fine point. Like on a knife, you put a micro edge, it's hard to even focus. But it is almost needle sharp when you feel it on the back of your hand. I said, I want everybody out there that makes tools to do this. Just practice. Like I said, put a piece of tape where you know where to stop. You don't have to have a sander. It's a lot of filing, but you could probably take a 4.5 inch grinder to get it started. Remember, when you file though, file one side, skip to that side so you keep it straight. Don't try going around. I know Scout Crafter mentioned that before. If you want to keep square, and this is a lot of hand filing. I said, I know I took it down real quick with the sander, but there was another video on YouTube, but it's a lot longer. It's ground up here. I didn't want that. I wanted to just get it over with. I just wanted the point to come down and get over with. Great for cardboard, canvas, anything besides wood. You want to get a hole in there. It'll go through cardboard so fast. And almost better than something just pointed, because you can jam it in there and ram it. You know, ream the hole out. It'll work good. But it's for boring holes in wood. We'll show it sometime in action. So let's take another break. It is kind of hot in here, but after a cold winter, I mean, I can handle heat as long as I have a fan on my head and my head's cool. I don't know if y'all like that. Any of you all are like that? As long as my head is nice and cool, the rest of me can cook like a turkey in an oven. That's just the way I am. Break time, cold drink. Hello YouTube, can I polish a rock with a rotary tool or a Dremel? Well, years ago I started on this. It was a really cheap tool. And I sanded and sanded. Excuse me. And I'd make a paste out of that rock tumbling material. You know, you got the different grits. Kind of make a paste and had some of the basic polishing little buffer. The really hard ones. I know you all know what I mean. Like in there. See that real hard white one in there? Because that's what it took. Well, we're going to play around here a little bit. I'm going to take my sanding drum, which is those, see them, the reddish brown sanding drum, so I can't get the case on one-handed. We're going to go along this a little bit. There's like a few different cracks and stuff. Pretty neat rock. Somebody tell me what kind of material it is. There's yellow, black, like white quartz, and then there's some iron. That's this iron staining. I mean, it really looks nice when it was shiny. I had it shiny once. I had probably car wax or something, because I'm not going to look for a rock tumbler to put this in. It was just such a nice rock when I found it. I could see it when I rubbed the dirt off, that even though it was really dingy and dark, I could just make out the green and the yellow. So, we'll come back. We want to do some sanding first. We're going to work on the back where you won't see it, in case we mess up, because this is the bad side. This is the side that was dipped in, had, see the groove and everything. So, we're going to sand on that a little bit, and experiment on this side, before we get carried away. So, stay tuned. We'll just be back when it's done and show you what products we used. Well, it's kind of so-so. We made that flat. Can you see across there? Because we wanted to work for a paperweight. So we ground it with stone. This one came apart. What a shame. I was using that like, believe me, it'll pop out of there. And we use like one of these, which you gotta be careful if you make grooves. I went all different directions. Work our way up to 1200 grit wet dry sandpaper, okay? Now if you look at the white, you can see where that's kind of a different white. That's probably because I went a little too deep with a grindstone, but I did flitz the whole thing on this side, okay? I tried some of that black polish like my tools, and that was a mess. So I'm not going to try any of them. They're just a gooey mess. Let's go to the side that I did. Like I said, years ago I made a slurry out of some of them grits that you'd put in the rock tumbler, and I had a real cheap Dremel tool and sandpaper, and I got it down to this sheen, which isn't the greatest. Because if you turn it over, you can almost see with the flitz. It does give it a gloss. I mean, you can always put wax on this. It's just a paperweight. It's not a polished gemstone. That'll sit flat better. Bring it over here where it's flat. See that? That's pretty flat. If it wasn't, it'd be wobbling. So by eye. It's a pretty neat rock. It really is. Let's get rid of that. Okay, I think this video is going to go on my Sunday in the shop, because it's just something to do because I'm bored. If anybody knows what they call this rock, I have a rock mineral book. I studied it once. I could tell you the story about the best rocks to find in my county. Someday, I just don't feel like it right now. I have the geological soil survey for 1940s. I took the whole book apart and made the pages flat and put them in an envelope so I could take the page out and photograph it. Yeah, 1940s, like soil conservation. And found the one spot in the county that had the best rocks to look through glacial till. Because I live where it's called the Loess Hills. Let's leave it at that. You can Google it. Loess Hills near Sioux City. And I found one of the best spots for rock hunting where they found had the best glacial till. That means rocks was pushed along the glacier. That's how the hills were formed, that and wind and everything. So I've got a good rock hunting spot I'd like to take y'all there and show you someday. It's just off the side of a dirt road on a bank. And no one's ever came along and told me to get out of there, so. I can also show you a farm that's got some boulders laying around it too out in the pasture alongside of a hill. What do you think? Not bad for a paperweight if I finish doing it. And I use for flits, I use that to buffer super polished, and the one for putting on the polish was this one, a real big one. So I use another hard wool one. I didn't use any floppy, you know what I mean, look in there, like a yellow rag, see, it's like this, and a fluffy mop rag thing, or this type. No, I use those hard ones to do the buffing. These are pretty hard. I think they're called wool, whatever. They're really hard. They'll melt plastic on the screen. Like these. Don't get carried away with plastic screwdriver handle these, because these things are really aggressive without any polish on them. Okay, we're gonna take a break. We need to take a break here and rest. We've been hunched over the desk doing this too long. Stay tuned.